Hey guys, let's talk about finding a 1 rep max. We just finished an 8-week training block, and we have athletes not only finding a new 1 rep max, all right, after doing 8 weeks of training, but we have some athletes actually finding their first 1 rep max because they jumped in like halfway through. Let's address both of these, all right? First off, for those who are finding a 1 rep max for the first time, typically what you're gonna see in the programming, 3 to 4 rounds of general warm-up. Okay, your primary lift is gonna be in there, so if you're at a back squat 1 rep max that day, we're gonna be doing back squat, usually at a volume of somewhere between 5 and 10 reps. Oftentimes you're going to see in some single mode, some mobility, maybe a secondary exercise as well, all right? You're going to be adding weight as you work through those 3 or 4 rounds. Once you get done with the general warm-up, we go into a specific warm-up, okay? We usually suggest doing a set of 3, add some weight, set of 2, add some weight, and then move into singles, all right? Once we get to singles, the rule of thumb is pretty simple. We would suggest that if it's easy, you're going to add 10s. If it's challenging, add 5s. And if it's very challenging, but you think you can do one more, add 2.5s for that 5-pound total, okay? Now, for the first time you're gonna do a 1 rep max, we suggest just taking it as close as you can to failure without actually failing, right? You're just gonna be getting a baseline number for either the next program or just to kind of see where you stand, all right? If you are retesting, same kind of idea in regards to the warm-up, 3 to 4 rounds, 5 to 10 repetitions, and then transition to a 3-2-1. But now we have a specific number that we're aiming at, right? And that number is going to be 5 to 10 pounds under your previous 1 rep max. So let's just say it was a 315 back squat. We're probably going to aim for a 305. So we'll continue to make progress, make jumps in weight with singles as we get to that 305 mark. And you should just have a nice easy lift at 305. And then what we're going to do is jump 5 pounds above and beyond what your previous 1 rep max was. In this case, 320, all right? We strongly suggest just taking that 5-pound victory right off the bat, even if the 305 felt pretty light and you're like, oh, I could probably do 330 or 340. Take the 5-pound victory. If it is easy, awesome. It's also just giving you some additional preparation for those heavier loads, right? We've seen this time and time again in the gym. People make too big of a jump. They're not prepared. They drop down somewhere in between. They get that one, and then they go back up, and they end up getting that one they initially missed just because their body's kind of primed for that load. It's not surprising, all right? This strategy has worked very, very well in our gym, all right? One thing to note is that if you are retesting, we're kind of okay with you guys pushing a little bit closer to failure. Make sure you have the adequate safety equipment or spotters with you, but we can actually take the bench press pretty much almost all the way to failure with little to no risk. Overhead press, same thing. Front squat, same thing. You can just drop it if you can't get it up. Back squat, you gotta make sure you're in a power cage with some safety straps or you have some competent spotters, all right? So hope this helps. Some things that have helped us a lot in the past 15 or 16 years in regards to 1 rep maxing.